Great Houses are one of the pillars of society in Westeros, who sit quite comfortably at the top of the continent's hierarchy, besides the king. They are both feared and renowned in their own rights, some led by tyrants, others by men of honour, while they all have its power, rivaled only by each other and the kingdoms they govern. But who are they really? The Starks are an ancient and honourable house, ruling over the north, which unsurprisingly is the northernmost region of Westeros, from their seat of Winterfell, built around an ancient godswood and over natural hot springs. Their sigil is a running direwolf on a field of white. The house words promise that winter is coming. House Stark was founded during the Age of Heroes by Brandon the Builder, who is said to have raised Winterfell and the Wall, but other legends connect him with Storm's End and the High Tower too. For thousands of years the Starks were kings of winter, gradually defeating rival kings like the Barrow Kings of, the Barrowlands, and of course the Red Kings / vampire spawning saints of House Bolton, who could never ever do anything wrong. I mean, even the idea of associating this honourable house with the Red Wedding is blasphemy.
The Lannisters send their regards.
Their reign ended like everyone else's with Aegon's conquest of Westeros, where Torrhen Stark, to avoid conflict, knelt before Aegon and yielded his kingdom, and was named Lord of Winterfell and Warden of the North. As of A Game of Thrones, Lord Eddard Stark is the Lord of Winterfell and Warden of the North, with 5 healthy children and Jon. The Tullys are an old noble house of First Men origins, ruling over the Riverlands, a land aptly full of rivers. They reside at Riverrun, a 3-sided castle between 2 rivers, shocker, the Tumblestone and the Red Fork. Their sigil is a fish, their words, family, duty, honour. They came to be a great house in the days of Aegon's conquest, with Aegon marching on Harrenhal and King Harren the Black of the Isles and Rivers. A certain Lord Edmund Tully raised the Targaryen banner in revolt against his liege lord. In return, following the burning of Harrenhal and ensuing extinction of House Can't Say That Word on YouTube, Aegon bestowed the title of Lord Paramount of the Trident to Lord Edmund Tully, a title they kept until the Red Wedding. As of the start of the books, Lord Hoster Tully is the Lord of Riverrun, with 3 children. Edmund Tully, his heir, Lady Catelyn Stark and Lysa Arryn, the wives of Lord Ned Stark and Lord Jon Arryn respectively. House Arryn are the noble lords of the Vale, the easternmost region of Westeros, and the most mountainous. They date back to the coming of the Andals. Their main seat is the Eyrie, a near impregnable castle thousands of feet in the air.
Give me 10 good men and some climbing spikes. I'll impregnate the bitch.
Atop the mountains of the moon. A bird on a moon is their sigil, and the words are as high as honour. Wow, ironic considering their lord the whiny little fuck. Their house originated during the coming of the Andals, when the Andals of the Vale united behind Sir Artis Arryn, the Falcon Knight, against King Robar II Royce and defeated him, naming himself as the King of Mountain and Vale. They bent the knee during Aegon's conquest when Visenya Targaryen rode to the Eyrie on the back of Vhagar to obtain the Vale's surrender. The boy king, Ronald Arryn, sat in the lap of the Dragon Queen, asking to soar the skies atop her dragon. And so Ronald flew the skies a king and landed as the Lord of the Vale and Warden of the East. At the start of the books, Lord Jon Arryn is dead and his son, Lord Robert Arryn, resides at the Eyrie, with his mother, the Lady Regent Lysa Tully. House Greyjoy are the powerful Great House of the Iron Islands. They rule from their seat of Pike, on the island of, Pike. Very creative, George. They bear a golden kraken for their sigil and the words, "We do not sow." After Aegon's conquest and destruction of House Can't Say That on YouTube, the Iron Islands were left without a lord, and so they fell into chaos, to the point where Aegon had to invade them again, after already conquering them. They bent the knee and chose Vicon Greyjoy as their lord. As of the start of the books, Lord Balon Greyjoy is the Lord of the Iron Islands, with 3 sons and a daughter, Roderick and Mayron, who were killed during their rebellion, Theon Greyjoy, a ward and definitely not hostage of House Stark, and Asha Greyjoy, or Yara if you're a dreaded show viewer, his daughter. House Tyrell are a fairly new great house in Westeros, as compared to the others. Their domain is the Reach, the 2nd largest region in Westeros and most prosperous. Highgarden is a seat of House Tyrell, a great 3-layered castle dating back to the Age of Heroes. A sigil of a golden rose and the words "growing strong," embodying the nature of the Reach as a whole. They became lords during Aegon's conquest after the previous king decided to take his entire family, House Gardener, to fight dragons, and his bloodline was burnt to a crisp in the Field of Fire. The Tyrells surrendered to the Targaryens and were made lords of the Reach for it. At the start of the books, Lord Mace Tyrell is the Lord of Highgarden, with 4 children. His heir, Willis Tyrell, Garland the Gallant, Sir Loras the Knight of the Flowers, and future Queen Margaery Tyrell. House Lannister is a very powerful house and one of the most wealthy houses in all of Westeros, ruling over the westernmost region of the Westerlands. Their seat is Casterly Rock, a castle carved into a great stone hill beside the Sunset Sea. Their banner is a golden lion on red and boasts the words, "Hear me roar." Cocky much? They too were a part of the Field of Fire with House Gardener, but conveniently King Loren Lannister and his family survived the Dragonfire and fled. He was captured by the Targaryens a few days later, where he bent the knee and forfeited his kingdom, becoming a measly lord. As of A Game of Thrones, Lord Tywin Lannister is the Lord of Casterly Rock, with 3, entirely innocent might I add, children. Sir Jaime Lannister, the Kingslayer of the Kingsguard, Queen Cersei Lannister, most famous for having 3 bastards with her twin brother Jaime, 2 of which have sat the Iron Throne, and finally, the imp, Tyrion Lannister. House Martell are the main power in Dorne, the southernmost of the 7 kingdoms. Their seat is Sunspear. They bear a red sun pierced by a golden spear and declare that they are unbowed, unbent, unbroken. The house was founded by Morgan Martell, an Andal adventurer who settled in Dorne during the coming of the Andals. In around 700 BC, the Rhoynish warrior Queen Nymeria arrived in Dorne, and Mors Martell married her, combining their strengths and managing to unite all of Dorne under their rule in Nymeria's war. What a power couple. Targaryen rule was cemented in Dorne during Baelor Breakspear's reign, unlike the other great houses, who travelled to Sunspear and agreed a peace with House Martell following multiple wars with them, which included a betrothal between Miriam Martell and Prince Daeron Targaryen. At the start of the books, there are a fair few Martells kicking about. The Prince of Dorne, Doran Martell, with his 3 children, Arianne, Quentyn and Trystane. Of course, Doran's siblings, Oliver Martell, Elia Martell, and finally the Red Viper, Oberyn Martell, who has a fair few children, all bastards. House Baratheon are the newest of the Great Houses of Westeros, being founded during Aegon's conquest. They rule over the Stormlands, a stormy region, how apt, on the eastern shore of Westeros. Their seat is Storm's End, an ancient castle said to be built by Brandon the Builder during the Age of Heroes. They bear a black stag on a field of yellow, boasting that ours is the fury. How ferocious. House Baratheon was founded during Aegon's conquest, following the defeat of the Storm King Argilac Durrandon at the hands of Orys Baratheon. Orys took the lands, sigil and words of House Durrandon for his own and became the first Lord Paramount of the Stormlands. As of the start of the Song of Ice and Fire, there are 3 main branches of House Baratheon. House Baratheon of Storm's End, its current head being Lord Renly Baratheon. House Baratheon of Dragonstone, founded by Lord Stannis Baratheon, and House Baratheon of King's Landing, founded by King Robert Baratheon, first of his name, Lord of the 7 Kingdoms, yada yada yada, with his 3 heirs, totally not Lannister bastards, Joffrey the Gentle, Tommen and Myrcella. If you made it this far, you might as well subscribe. If not, George will never release Winds of Winter. And check out some of my other videos.